What's up, y'all? Check this out. Welcome back to the THC Temple, right? And I'm playing some tracks on radio, you know what I'm saying? I found a radio station that were playing that heat, you know what I'm saying? So I had to... Either way, check this out, man. A question that I have, I brought up, that I thought of the other day, is America becoming too politically correct? Because, you know, it's something that you'll hear people say all the time, especially in the age of Trump, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like, you know, his supporters' motto, like, oh, you're being politically correct, bro. You're being... So all types of politically correct. You know, first of all, what is political correctness? But either way, basically, this came up like, you know, the thing that made me think about, you know, that made me, you know, do the little thing. You know, they have an emoji for that now, so that's cool, you know. Apple always ahead of the pack. Either way, fucking, you know, they had a White House Correspondents' Dinner, I think that's what they called it. And either way, you know, it's just where, you know, the politicians and some comedians and some entertainers, you know, all types of people, you know, all the bigwigs of the world, I guess you can say, you know, the people over us little ants, you know, they linked up and, you know, they told some jokes and they basically had like a roast, you know, like a presidential kind of roast thing, you know what I'm saying, kind of to lighten up the people, you know what I'm saying, kind of not, you know, kind of to make America not look so harsh and so gritty and so angry, you know, kind of like, hey, yeah, we hard telling some jokes over here, we're doing this, we're doing that, you know, it's that type of deal, that whole type of shtick. But either way, what was the dude's name? He's the guy that does the Daily Show now, but I forgot his name. And either way, you know, I think it's Larry Wilmore. His name is actually Larry. My name is Larry, so that's a name I shouldn't be forgetting. I think it's Larry Wilmore, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, he told a joke necessarily. Either way, he got up there and he told Obama, he said, yo, you did it, my nigga. And, you know, it didn't, like, you know, the world didn't blow up or explode or anything. But, you know, it was a trending thing. Like, oh, my God, you know, he called the president a nigga. So, either way, I made this boat. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about, you know, is America being politically correct and all that hoopla. But that's, you know, basically where the sprouting point came from. It's a real hot box right now, too. How much is it? 90 degrees. Whew. Well, it's 90 outside, you know, but 90 outside means it's going to get hot AF in him. So, either way, like, basically, you know, when that happened, like, either way, like I said, when this whole political correctness talks comes up, you know, it usually has the same talking points. So, like, you know, the whole thing about him calling the president a nigga, for one, that's pretty cool. You know, he was like, you know, my nigga, you know, he said, what he said, you know, he was telling Obama, he said, you did it, my nigga, you know, like I said, like, you know, his buddy, you know, so, like, for one, I was saying that, you know, that's kind of cool, you know, you get, you know, called, hey, my nigga, you know what I'm saying, hey, my boy, you know, if I got to, any way I got to address Obama or, you know, somebody like, hey, my nigga, you know, it's Obama, so, you know, pretty sure, you know, anybody, you know, it could be Lil Wayne, I'm pretty sure if he met about, hey, how you doing, sir, you know, it'd be some shit like that, but either way, you know, I just thought, like I said, you know, me hearing it, somebody who says nigga every day, you know, it wasn't anything to me, but like I said, when the people jumped up and riled up and got bowered up and growled up, you know, they were basically saying, and for one, like I said, when this political correct talk comes up, it kind of has these same talking points, you know, there were guys out there who were like, oh, see, if a white man said that, everybody would be blah, 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 blah. And when it comes to that, anytime I hear that argument, anytime people are saying, if I did A, people would be. Now, sometimes that argument makes sense. Sometimes. But anytime, especially when it's something, when somebody says, like, if I would have said that, la, la, la. I always think, for one, do you want to say that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's all, especially when it comes to, like, a nigga or a black joke or something like this or something like that. It's always, you know, these people just come out of the woodwork. Oh, man, if I said that, I'd be racist. I'm like, you know, the first thing that always pops into my head, do you want to say it? You know, I wouldn't look at nobody and be like, oh, y'all get mad at me if I did it, unless it's something that I want to do. And I'm not doing it because I'd be scared of you guys' reaction. Does that make sense or not? Either way, let me hit this bowl real quick. And that's like, you know, like I said, that argument can be applied to anywhere, not just somebody saying, you know, nigga, somebody saying something about a gay guy, or somebody saying something about a Jew, or somebody saying any kind of thing. you know, anytime you're using that argument, and like I said, that's a political correct argument, because they'll be like, oh, you all are politically correct, because if I did that, raggedy. Like I said, I always say, is that something that you want to do? Because if that's something that you want to do, and getting into, you know, part two of my point, I've heard, you know, especially even today, like, you know, and going back to, not even going back, but another point, you know, that has to do with this. I was watching Daniel Tosh the other day. You guys probably know Daniel Tosh. He's a comedian. He did Tosh Point oh, the TV show, and yeah, he's like a dope comedian. And his you know, his style of comedy, you know, is abrasive comedy, you know, like in that special I was watching, he was making jokes about pedophiles and, you know, this and that and who, you know, and he you know, so it's touchy subjects. And he made some black jokes in there. He made a whole lot of, you know, a plethora of offensive jokes. You know what I'm saying? And you probably didn't hear about it. So that's why, you know, anytime those people always say, oh, if a white guy did it, raggedy. I see white people saying crazy shit all the time. And that's not even just, you know, just to say white people. But, you know, anytime, like I say, anytime a guy say, and that's not anytime, because sometimes it makes sense. Like I said, it's not just for any argument, but anytime somebody talk about a politically correct. If he said, oh, if I did it, or if somebody like me did it, always check around and make sure, like I said, make sure is what he's saying true. Because Donald Trump came out and said that stuff, and people literally started supporting him. Strictly because he said that. You know what I'm saying? They were defending, people come out of the woodwork defending that man, you know, for speaking his opinion. And like I said, ain't nothing really necessarily wrong with that. But if America was so politically correct and so raggedy who, like I said, so mad about, you know, covering up, you know, basically, you know, politically correct being, you know, you're gonna cover up the truth in order to save other people's feelings, or, you know, like, or people will get mad because you hurt their feelings. If that was the case, that man wouldn't be, you know, close to running, you know, winning the presidency. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't be a contender. You know, he'd be just that crazy guy over there yelling. You know, America, you know, and like I said, whatever politically correct is, man, because, and for one, I don't really see it like that. Anything I want to say, I'm going to say it. And, you know, like, how are you going to, because, you know, anything, especially, like, what am I saying that's going to be that crazy, you know, that's going to spark such a reaction to the point, like I said, what's going to happen? I hurt your feelings. You know, I ain't hearing none of that, you know, all of that type of stuff. Because y'all know me, you know, I try and stick as close to logic as possible. You know, I ain't perfect by a long shot, but I try my best. You know what I'm saying? But that's my whole thing. You know, people, like I say, you know, they're like, oh man, we can't even do this, we can't even do that. I think you need to ask yourself, what are the things that you want to do? And, like, why will society look at you differently? I think it was, you know, like, people talking about catcalling, you know, like whistling at a girl, or, you know, shit like when a girl's walking down the street, like, hey, baby, what to do with that fat ass, you know, type of shit like that. Do you have to do that? Like, because some people will be like, oh, man, that's, you know, what's wrong with me doing that? What's wrong with a lie? What's wrong with a D? Man, if the girl don't want you to do it, why you got to do it? That ain't being politically correct. That's kind of being a little reasonable, man. She don't want you to do it, don't do it, man. Goddamn, they're like, oh, well, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime, or people just, you know, anything. Like, because people, you know, one thing, when I said, you know, I was talking about people in the race jokes, you know, people be like, oh, if I'm a white guy and I make a black joke, blah, 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 blah. No, I've heard many white jokes from, many black jokes from white comedians, and, you know, black people laugh it up, white people laugh it up, everybody laughs it up, because it's a good fucking joke. If you make a good joke, people, you know, like, if what you're saying is literally, especially like if it's a joke, if it's a good joke, people will run with it. If you want to make something as sensitive as a race joke, because a race joke is something like that, it has high risk, but if you can get it over, you know, you'll win. But if you lose, you'll get fucked up. So don't go that route unless you got it, unless you got the talent. Niggas be trying to just do it just because they think they can just do it, and you end up falling flat on your face. Is that really the people's fault, or your fault for going a route that you knew you couldn't handle? I don't really know. Put it this way, man. My whole thing is, man, don't let anything hold you back. If you want to do it, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if, like I said, if what you want to do is something that people get angry over, people get upset over, then sit back and think. You know, sit back and look at the situation and be like, okay, why are people upset over what I'm doing? And literally, you know, just go over it. You're a logical person. You're a smart person. You know, go over it and be like, okay, maybe this, maybe that, maybe this. And, you know, think in yourself, would it be reasonable for either me to change or for me to keep on doing and they got to get over it. You know what I'm saying? Because in the long run, my actions, will, it'll be better than me holding back. You got to think about that. You know what I'm saying? It's just about, and I should have started off with this. That would have been the best way, because a whole lot of people probably left like 2 minutes in when they started. Either way, put it this way. The whole point of it is it politically correct if your wife asks you, do I look fat in this dress? And you say no, but you know damn well she'll look like a hairy whale in that motherfucker. Is that being politically correct? Or is that literally, like I said, sometimes you have to obscure the truth a little bit just for it. Like I said, in the end, in the long run, it'll be better if I, not even to say obscure the truth, I just have to do it. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And sometimes it's better off doing what you got to do at the time other than doing, I don't know, what you wanted to do. Either way, or what you were supposed to do. Put it this way. I'm going to get out of here, man, because if this video longer than 11 minutes, I get cut off by the YouTube Illuminati. See, oh my God, see, it's take control of my hand.